Hey,
Hey Joseph, my man, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Just finished training. Sorry I'm a lot late, but just finished training and cleaning the gym.
Oh, no worries, no worries. You know what? I always say to the fighters I interview, I say, you know what? Life happens, so shit happens. It is what it is.
Yeah, man. But I'm happy to get to hop on here with you, though. How are you doing?
I'm good, thanks. Bit of a crazy day. My legs are just sore as hell, so
What are you
I
training?
just
Gym? Are you doing jits or martial arts?
well, I was just doing like kind of stuff on the side. I'm just going. I'm just hitting the gym, right? I'm trying to get back in
Okay.
shape because our gyms have been closed on and off, so it's been really frustrating, right? So, um, yeah, no, I just had a really massive leg day, so I'm just feeling it. But yeah, enough about me here, though. How about you? Like, how are things over there with the COVID? Like, how's your training been?
Training's been a lot better. COVID hasn't really too much affected us anymore lately. Main thing it's affected is just like some of the guys I coach, and when they have fights, and I can't go and coach half of them because they're only allowing like one cornerman for our fighters, which isn't enough.
Absolutely not.
But that's the main effect that it's had on my life when it comes in a training standpoint.
Hmm. Well, and you know what? You bring up an interesting point because I know I just watched a fight 2 weekends ago. It was actually that one fight, UFC, Bell Muhammad and
Yeah,
that one guy from England. But
yeah,
anyway, the Bell Muhammad, thank God, I mean his eyes okay, but I mean he lost his head coach because of all the COVID shit. And
mhm.
it's just unfortunate. I mean, you're kind of gambling, I guess, if that
It's
makes
very
sense.
tough because I mean you can choose your coach that is good with the advice, or you could choose your coach that's going to help you warm up and drill things. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So definitely hit or miss.
Oh, absolutely. So, I mean, I will get into about how COVID's affected some of your fights, but I guess I just want to start off. I mean, how did you get the whole Ugly Man Joe? I mean,
Ugly Man Joe just comes from just being young in school with, just wilding out is how we call it. We used to like when I went to school at Arkansas Tech University, and
mhm.
I wouldn't say I was popular, but like I was I was going out and partying and stuff. And like every time I'd get around my closest friends, like for some reason I'd be getting called ugly or they'd be getting called ugly, or you're like roasting on each other, even though we all
Yeah.
look good. You know what I mean? You're just like, boy, you ugly though, and it's just going back and forth. So eventually it just worked for us. And me and my group of friends were calling it each other Ugly Man Gang. And then
Oh
if you
yeah.
were gang, then you would just put Ugly Man before your name. So I'm Ugly Man Joe.
That's awesome. I think that would kind of confuse a couple people. When I saw it, I read I'm like, there's nothing ugly about this guy.
Oh my
So like, I
god.
was like, come on, but I like it. It's something original, so that's pretty cool. Yeah. So I mean, just jumping right into it. I mean, you made your amateur debut in 2017, which is only a few years ago. So what kind of got you? Well, like, what influenced you to start MMA?
I've always been competitive, man. I played football, and then I went to college playing football,
Hmm.
and then I lost motivation for football, but I still had my drive,
Hmm.
and just like my ambition. And then I met a guy, and I still remember that guy too. I still even associate with him. His name's Tommy Speed, and he had an SFS shirt on. And I asked him, "What is that?" He told me. I tried it out like the next week, or like really soon after, and I've been here ever since.
That's awesome. So like with football, like how far did you go? Like what like were you ever did you ever get like an offer to actually get signed anywhere, or like
Yeah,
what
I mean, I did sign. I signed to Arkansas Tech University. I didn't pay for any school, so I went off of a partial football scholarship, and then I had some
Oh, that's
grades
cool.
help me with the rest because it was Division 2.
That's
So
awesome.
no, yeah, I did all right, man. And I played in high school. I went to Mesquite High, and I was a starter there for 2.5 years, and then I had a bunch of places offer me, so I was really really competitive at the time. And then I was a lot bigger as well. I was about 220, maybe 225, something like that. So I was jacked, man.
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
just to not be playing football at all, you know what I mean? And you're just like don't working at a job. When I found SFS, it was like, it's like you're at like you're paying for it, but it still has that almost school structure,
Yeah.
show up at this time, work out as hard as you can, and so forth.
Hmm.
So I loved it, man.
Yeah. And what position did you play in football?
I was a D end.
DN. Okay. Well, I was gonna say, I mean, you're a big boy, so I mean, yeah, you gotta be able to hit, right?
Yeah, no, I was a D end. I was 225 at my biggest, 6'4". So yeah, I had a lot of fun.
Hmm. And then you just kind of transitioned in MMA at that point, then.
Yeah, full blown MMA. When I first started, I was doing everything: kickboxing, jujitsu, wrestling, boxing.
Hmm. Well, I know that you had quite a few wins with the ground game. Is that something that you really enjoy? Is there anything that you like in particular?
I mean, I definitely am super duper confident in my grappling. Um,
Hmm.
but I've grappled just as long as I've striked.
Yeah.
It just kind of, I guess it just kind of clicks to me. I'm a visual learner, so like with jujitsu, like I just see it. Like the coach is like, "We're working on this. This is how you do it." I see it the first time, and I'm doing it.
Hmm.
So definitely, I think jits clicks a lot better for me. But lately, my striking's been coming along as well. So I wouldn't say anything in particular is a favorite of mine, but I definitely feel I'm a lot more well-rounded than most of the guys at my level right now.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Now, I mean, in your pro debut, you're 3-1 as far as I'm concerned, unless the internet's full of shit. So I mean, with every fight that you've had, you've pretty much been fighting in different organizations. So I'm assuming that you've only got one fight contracts.
Yeah, everybody's offering me one fight contracts. I think we're talking right now with LFA to see if they're trying to do a multi-fight deal or something. They offered it about a month or so ago. So just talking with the management, see what's best for us. I know for a fact LFA, if we get a call to the UFC while I'm on a contract with them, they will, without a problem, let me off that contract to do that. So that would be a good thing. Whereas some of these other companies, they probably wouldn't allow that, like
Hmm.
Bellator. Although I
Yeah.
love fighting for Bellator, my goal is UFC. So we're probably not gonna, we might not accept another Bellator fight if it's more than a one fight deal. But
Hmm.
that's just kind of where it is. Just trying to get to the UFC. So we don't want to get locked into anywhere, but we want to, fight for whoever is trying to pay us some bread and give us an awesome fight for sure.
So the eye is on the prize then.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
uh yeah, that's awesome, man. And I think, and that's where I think most fighters, that's where they want to be. I mean, it's no secret, it's pretty much the biggest organization in the MMA world. But it must be kind of frustrating to be getting all these one fight contracts. I mean, it doesn't really give you that insurance in a way, right?
No, not frustrating at all. Honestly,
No, no.
I actually prefer getting just like a one fight deal. Sign me up for that fight. Get out my hair after. Let me figure out what I'm gonna do. I got an
Hmm.
awesome management company. I'm with Iridium Sports Management Agency. So
Absolutely, I agree.
when I'm getting that fight, they're already working on the following months, getting me locked in. So I am 100% okay with these one fight deals.
Yeah, and I guess bring that into my next topic here. I mean, you had a fight canceled back in February. So was it your opponent that pulled out, or what happened with that fight? I think it was in February 26th or somewhere around there.
Oh, with AKA, honestly, my opponent came in heavy. And then we just had a misunderstanding with like my weight and just like with things like if I should still take the fight, if I should not take the fight. And then my management told me I should not take the fight. So I didn't take the fight, you know what I mean? And then I allowed them to kind of try and deal with things as a promotion and as my management.
Hmm.
And then, but the promotion still wanted to involve me, not really realizing that I'm being spoken for, and then things kind of just went a little bit more overboard and then the fight just couldn't happen anymore. So That actually just led to this fight being canceled because I was supposed to fight on Friday, and then that whole mess with them got me suspended, which is now being cleared. Just now got cleared. So it was actually, now that you mention it, it was actually really annoying mess with February, that fight being canceled. And I didn't like how that went at all.
Yeah, I can only imagine. I mean, you had a fight set up, and then you're gonna have another fight set up, and then it all just kind of falls apart. I mean, I think during these times in the COVID times, you guys gotta work. You guys gotta, make that the money.
Agreed. Yeah. And I mean, especially if one fighter comes in on weight, like at least just, be on weight,
Yeah, you got to do your
and
job.
that way we could all get paid, if,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I get, people get frustrated, like me, for example, like my opponent's not on weight, so yeah, you're not gonna, as somebody who cares about my career, I'm not just gonna accept any fight just because somebody tells me to, you know what I mean? Like, I got to think about me, and I'm sure I could beat that guy, but what if he caught me? What if he laid on me for 3 rounds? You know what I mean?
Yep.
Then I threw my own career into the trash, and I can't do that. So
100%. And I guess, and just moving on, what's probably the biggest thing that you've learned about yourself and as in the world of MMA?
I have way more influence than I thought.
Mm-hmm.
I've lately been running into so many moments where, like, because I teach kids, like I'll have kids I've never met before. I normally remember most of my kids' names. So when I see a new kid I've never seen, they'll be like, oh, like, that's Ugly Joe. I had this one kid the other day, he walks up, he's like, are you mean Ugly Joe? And I was like, I mean, I'm not mean. It was just like, people are watching. And I just taught a private to a guy for the first time. And I never even told him about my fight name or nothing. And he was all like, after our session, he's like, man, I watched your fights. You know what I'm saying? And I saw, he's like describing some of the fights, and I'm trying to remember, like, oh, I don't remember that one. He's like, man, you did this, that, and this and that. And I was like, oh, wow, man. Well, heck yeah, I appreciate that, So, yeah, I'm definitely realizing I have a lot more influence than I thought I did. And it's amazing, but it's also like, I don't know, it kind of gives me like a weird feeling in my stomach, like, like don't get caught being an ass to anyone, you know what I mean? Or like,
Yeah.
And like, I don't know, it's just different, you know what I'm saying? Just really different.
So so I'm assuming you like to embrace the fan base in a sense.
I'm actually a little more like, I'm not really interested in a fan base. I want more of like my people, you know what I mean? Like, everybody that supports me, they're like my friends or my family, you know what I mean? I don't really want to get to where I'm like thinking I'm some Conor McGregor or something like that has a bunch of fans. Like, no, I don't have a bunch of fans, but people have seen my stuff, and I work really, really hard, and hopefully it shows. And I just appreciate the fact that people are like looking up to me. I taught this guy, obviously, like he's from the streets, you know what I mean? And I'm over here teaching him how to kick, and he's like, at the end of it, he's like, man, I'm so happy I learned that kick. You inspired me. I saw you kick this one guy and looked like he was going to throw up. You know what I mean? And I was just feeling great. Like, that's amazing, man. I'm glad I could do that for you.
That's awesome. Like, I love to hear fighters talk like that, like talk about not so much having a fan base, but just having your friends, your family, and I think that's where it really matters, because you can have fans all the time. You could have 50,000 fans, you could have 1 million fans, but your friends, your families, they're always that 10% they'll always be with you.
Right. They're always gonna go that extra mile. They're gonna sign up that, you know what I mean, that 3-minute paperwork they need to do to help you out. You know what I mean? Your fans, they're not gonna do that. You know what I mean? Your fans aren't necessarily gonna buy that pay-per-view. They're gonna go try to get with somebody else who bought that pay-per-view and watch it for free. You know what I mean? Or they're
gonna stream it.
Or they're going to stream it or catch it on YouTube after it happens, so.
Yeah, and that's just it. So I do want to talk about Ugly Man Joe, or Ugly Man Joe Gaming. I think that's how it is.
Yeah, that's my
Yeah,
gaming
yeah, yeah,
channel.
yeah. So what like when did you start doing that?
Dude, I started streaming like November.
Oh, okay, so you're just new to all this then, eh?
Well, I was streaming on
New, yes.
Twitch. Like I was streaming on Twitch for over a year,
Okay.
maybe longer. And it's so easy to stream on Twitch on an Xbox. You could just go to the app on the console and do it. But like with Facebook, you gotta have a PC, you gotta get something called an Elgato that's gonna adapt with the PC, connect to all this other crap. You know what I mean? So it ain't easy. So for my channel, I had been commuting about 45 minutes to a studio just to play video games.
Wow.
But the thing about it is my channel grew so much faster than my Twitch channel grew.
That's crazy.
Right. I had my Twitch for almost 2 years, like a long time. And then I only had Facebook since November. And I'm like 20 people away from 1,000 followers.
Yeah.
I already like a bunch of supporters, people looking out for me. Like it is awesome. So I'm having a lot of fun streaming on Ugly Man Joe Gaming. And I'm playing some fun games, and I'm trying to branch out and play some more stuff that people would like. But I'm having a lot of fun.
So you're an Xbox guy then?
Yeah. And I just bought a PC, so I'm gonna be gaming PC as well. But yeah, Xbox.
No offense, man. I never been able to do Xbox. There's too many fucking buttons on there. I got ADD, so like I can't like focus on a whole bunch of things all at once.
Right. No, Xbox is tough, man. I do it, man, for real.
But I mean, like, I watched a couple of your videos. I know you're doing. I think there was the Surge 2, Modern Warfare. I know Modern Warfare is like the biggest one.
Yeah.
So, like, do you like when you're streaming? Are you still talking with people? Or are you just doing your own thing? Are you doing solo? Like, what are you?
I'm playing online, so I'm playing with other people. I'm allowing people that are coming into my stream to, the opportunity to play along as well.
Oh,
So
okay.
I'm communicating with everybody that comes in. I get alerts for people that start watching. It lets me know who's watching, so I get to kind of greet them and, you know what I mean? Just kind of see what's up with them. Appreciate them for stopping by in the first place. You know what I mean? And yeah, just trying to have fun with it. I've been trying to do different things. Like I did an ASMR theme, which is just like where you're like whispering and talking really low, and you put the sound up higher, and you know what I mean? Just focus on the sounds of things. And some people like that. And that attracted a good amount of people that I never had in the first place. So the other day I allowed a friend of mine to give me some of his music. So the whole stream, I just played his music, and that was really great too. I got a lot of positive feedback on that. I think I'll probably stick with that one for a while as well, allow some other people to give me music. So just trying to switch it up and have some fun and, make some money doing, what I love to do anyway.
Would you ever be down for doing like Minecraft and stuff like that?
Yeah, I would absolutely be down for Minecraft.
I can't do that.
I mean, I don't own it, but, if that's what people are requesting, heck yeah, I'd play some Minecraft. Later, Pinna.
Yeah, and I think like what you need to do is team up with Max Holloway. Get on his stream, or he gets on yours, and just shit talk the whole fight. Shit talk the whole stream.
I wish, dude. Like I will. You're right. I'm gonna try because he is on Facebook Gaming also. But man, he might be too popular for me right now. I just have 1,000 followers. You know what I mean? I got to work my way up. I have reached out to a few other streamers, and they don't even get back to me. So it's all good. I'm gonna just keep doing my thing.
So, I mean, going back to the whole fight game. So, you talked about like you're talking with LFA right now. So, is there an ideal contract that you like to sign? Would there be like a certain fight contract that you'd be willing to sign with them?
Yeah, I mean, I'd be willing to sign a 3-fight deal. My next fight being a main card, obviously somewhere like middle main, because my last one I think was like second on the card, like second fight or something. So then second fight, if I get the same type of finish, you know what I mean? I should get some type of contender fight, put me up against the guy who's next for the belt, and then once I beat him, let me fight for the belt, and then that should send me right on my merry way,
Yeah, and I know you talked about obviously UFC is like your main goal, and LFA typically a lot of guys from LFA do go to UFC. It's under the UFC Fight Pass banner, and they just typically they're really good with letting you go from your contracts. But is the Contender Series something that might interest you as well?
I mean, I guess so, but I don't think it makes a difference. I almost feel like the Contender Series guys might be more dangerous. So those guys are coming in there. They're normally super hungry. You know, it's like a cornered animal. You know what I mean? You gotta, just show up. So I don't know. I really don't care either, honestly, because my first fight was with Bellator, which was totally unexpected. That was my pro debut. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't be surprised if they just called me up to fight somebody.
Yeah, I mean, with you being sent Bellator, like your first fight, that's like the lion's den, man. I mean, you got thrown in with all those animals, man.
Freaking animals. I fought some freaking serious wrestler. Like,
Yeah. But yeah, man, I'm glad to hear it. I hope that you do get the contract that you deserve, and hopefully you get like a couple fights on that contract with the LFA, and good luck. But and nothing but the best to you, man.
same to you, man. I really appreciate your energy, bro. You're great.
That's awesome, Joe. Well, I appreciate you taking your time to come on the podcast, man. I know it's late where you're at. It's late where I'm at, but I do appreciate you taking the time to come on here, and I'm gonna watch some of your streams.
I appreciate that, bro. I hope you enjoy it. And please, like, you feel that I could do something better, just let me know, man. I need that. That's what I want. And I appreciate you working around my schedule as well. I know I had to switch it up on you because I forgot that I picked up the 4 o'clock class today and the 5 o'clock class today. So I just appreciate you being flexible and awesome.
Oh, absolutely, man. No problem. And good luck with everything. And you have you're gonna do good things, man.
Thank you, man. I'm going to try my hardest too.
All right. Well, Joseph, have a good night and take care. Okay.
Same to you, brother. Thanks a lot.